oneness. I am one with everyone, even the ones I don't want to be part of. I question whether some of you are even human or not. So, I wanted to speak today on the death of the carbon-based form and the existence afterwards. All right, so in my opinion, and in many schools of thought on this, I'm always speaking about oneness. Out of the many, there are one, and out of the one, there are many. I am connected to all things. I am not just one being, but billions, if trillions of not tiny, conscious beings, cells that are smart enough to replicate themselves, cells that are smart enough to heal themselves without me telling them, cells that are smart enough to be able to communicate with each other, all working together to form one larger organism, like an ecosystem, or fractally, small things become big, big things become small. The universe. All the little teeny tiny pieces come together to form one big universe. I am a universe unto myself, just like I am part of the universe, the yin and yang, the connection of all things. This is a very deep concept. I recommend you eat the mushrooms before you listen to this one. Dig it. So, I am the water. The water has consciousness in itself. I am the trees. The trees are conscious. They breathe. They inhale oxygen. Sorry, they inhale carbon dioxide. My bad. My botany teacher would be mad at me for that one. They inhale carbon dioxide. They breathe out oxygen. I inhale oxygen and breathe out carbon dioxide. A symbiotic relationship. I am part of the trees are part of me. I am all things. That's the beauty of it. I believe there's a universal energy that connects all things in the universe that has existed since the Big Bang, since the birth of consciousness. This is the question of who made God? Has God always existed? If you're religious in a monotheistic ideology, did God create itself, or has God always existed? What created the Big Bang? Was the Big Bang inevitable, or did something create the Big Bang? Did it create itself? That I'm not sure of. I might never be sure of it. How all of this consciousness and all of this energy came into being. All the universe is connected. Dig on this. Everything you eat that's not synthetic, either eat something that gets its energy from the sun, or eat something that gets its energy from the sun. Whether you're talking about plant eaters, all plant eaters eat plants. So we talk about the first photosynthetic cells because the sun is the most readily available resource of energy, the most consistent form of energy. So plants absorb sunlight through photosynthesis, and they were able to convert that sunlight into energy. And so they take the energy from the sun, just like Superman. Every plant, every blade of grass, every bush is just like Superman. It takes its energy from the sun, converts it into nutrients, and then combine that with the soil and the water. That's how it grows. The herbivore, the plant eater, then eats the plant, gets the energy that the plant receives from the sun. So it's literally getting all of its energy from the sun because this plant got all of its energy from the sun. Then the carnivore eats the herbivore, which ate the plant. So the carnivore gets its energy from the animal that got its energy from the plants, which got their energy from the sun. The sun is the base form of energy for all things living on Earth. I hope you ate the mushrooms. So I am the sun. I am part of the universe. Neil deGrasse Tyson is 100% right. I am part of the universe, and the universe is part of me. I exist in all things. I am one with the universe. I am consciousness manifested in a carbon-based form. Ooh, this is going to be a deep one for you. Howdy. So, I believe when you pass away, your carbon-based form dies. Again, this is supposed to be a symbiotic relationship. You're not supposed to be buried in a coffin. That's just our cultural and societal norm. You're supposed to just be buried in the ground, and preferably because the body starts to decay and smell. So you don't want that around. And, you know, seeing your grandma decaying right in front of you. Some cultures like it. Some cultures will keep the dead around and worship them for months after their death. You know, mummification, how they can preserve a body. It's all just cultural, learned behavior. You are a robot that's been programmed by your culture. You're a chemical-based robot, programmed by your culture. Language, food, clothes, all of it. You're all indoctrinated at a very early age. So, but what's supposed to happen from a biological and a symbiotic relationship with nature, you're supposed to die, and your carbon-based form gets absorbed back into the earth. So the plants, they get their nutrients, whether it's the Venus flytrap or it escapes my mind right now, but there's a vine in Europe that will literally catch sheep, and it won't let sheep go. The thorns are really hooked in, so when they catch sheep or other furry prey, it won't let them escape. They end up dying there of starvation, and the plant absorbs the nutrients. As I said, I believe it's in the Artificial Intelligence philosophical monologue. The Native Americans and the indigenous tribes of early Americas would bury fish guts and animal guts and other animal parts that they didn't want around or couldn't use in the soil next to their crops. And it would give nutrients. Even Google it. You can put a fish body in your garden, bury it in the soil by your plants, and it will add nutrients to your soil. So you're supposed to decompose, whether it's the flies that eat you or the ants that eat you, and then you give life to fly larvae, which then get eaten by spiders and birds and lizards and everything like that. It's all part of an ecosystem. I am one with the universe. I am one with all things. Oof. 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 So, you're doing it all wrong. You can save money on the coffin, Mom and Dad. What I would like as my final funeral request is I'd like my body to be grinded or pureed. I'm not gonna be mad. I'm not gonna be mad about it. But grinded into nutrients and put into a tree pod and put a mango seed. And I'd like to do more research. I'd like to create a whole tree pod cemetery where you could infuse, like how people cremate themselves. Fuck that. Puree your body into nutrient pods and put a tree seed inside of them so your body can be used as nutrients to give life to something else. And mangoes are the best fruit in the world. And this is from a very expert fruit eater. Man, I had all types of fruit. So I would like my body to be encased in a mango pod so that the next generations can eat my mangoes and I can give back, not just in this form, but in every form after. So that is my final request. So that's how I make a symbiotic relationship with the world around me, with nature. I am one with all things. I can't be selfish about it. Even if I get eaten by the bear, which preferably not, I'll fight a bear to the death if I got to. I didn't start this war. I'm just not going to lose it. So I'd rather, I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm a defensive hunter, right? So, even if a bear eats me, I understand I'm giving nutrients and life to that bear. I need to be smart enough, strong enough, not to end up in that situation. But shit happens, you know that, right? All right. So, my carbon-based form dies, and my energy, the soul, or your consciousness, whatever you want to think of it. Aristotle believed the soul was an energy that forever lived, and you put on different bodies like you put on a coat. So each body's like a coat or an outfit. So this is the outfit for this life, and this is the outfit for this life. Very similar to reincarnation in some cultures. How they believe that depending on how well or how good you did in this form, you become something else, hopefully better in the next form. But honestly, you don't want to be any animal around this species. This species kills everything. Even if you're a lap dog, you're still a slave compared to wolves. You put any dog in a wolf pack, that dog get eaten alive. I got a video on my TikTok somewhere of Boo play fighting a wolf hybrid. Now, this isn't even a full wolf. This is a wolf hybrid. And this wolf hybrid destroys Boo. Just faster, stronger, smarter, just always more lethal. Just way more lethal. It's like you trying to fight a chimpanzee. It's just, it's domestication, bro. You're domesticated. Just accept it. All right. So, my carbon-based form goes back into the earth. My energy is one with the universe. Just like I'm one with the sun. I'm one with all the stars. The sun is part of the energy of the universe. It holds together our solar system. All is one. One is all. Oneness. So, I believe my energy goes back. You create heaven or hell here on earth. And I think, in my opinion, that's just as important as reincarnation or heaven. I think Jesus had one of the greatest philosophies. He's a poor man surrounded by poor people in a land with lots of kings. He says, I may not be a king in this form, but my kingdom is when you die. And if you're a good person, when you die, I will allow you into my kingdom, and you will share all the riches I have with me. So you may be poor in this form. You may be abused in this form. You may be disenfranchised in this form. But I promise, if you're a good person, you live by a good moral code, you help people, in the next form, when you die, I will give you everything you've ever wanted. That's a good philosophy. A poor man in a poor land. I see why the kings hated him. Like, the high rabbis are like, you have no money, yet you say you're a king? Give him to the Romans. Give him to the Romans. Oh my God, man. Great philosopher. So, I digress. I am one with the universe. My energy lives on. Comes in many forms of many generations. I teach because I was taught. I hope to help other people understand and open their third eye. Your culture is destroying you. Capitalism, selfishness, You're going to consume everything till there's nothing left to consume. You're going to have war till there is no warrior. You need to change your philosophy. Whether it takes religion or some pop superstar or a tragic global disaster, something's going to happen to where you're going to need to change the way you live so that new generations can exist. Or it's just better you end the human civilization now, or go to the moon or Mars or what is it, Europa, and leave Earth alone so you don't take all the animals and plants. This is beautiful out here. This is beautiful. It's so beautiful out here. I haven't had one car honk at me. It was great. So you don't destroy Earth. Either change your life philosophy or leave Earth so Earth can live. Because there's no point in destroying yourselves and destroying Earth. Don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. I wish you the best, good people. I really do. Until we meet again, be safe. Peace.